Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to another show. I'm your host for the evening, Brother MANDENE Muhammad, filling in for Brother Jamil Muhammad. And tonight I have the honor of interview a true hip hop legend this evening, Brother Rakim Allah. Brother Rakim, welcome to the Munir Muhammad Show, sir. Welcome to Chicago once again, my brother. How you doing? Assalamu alaikum.
Peace and love, my brother. Assalamu salam, man.
Yeah,
Blessings.
yes, sir, brother. I have to say before I get into my round of questions, man. Been been listening to you for years. I know you hear that a lot, but coming into the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad for myself, it came in via hearing, conscious lyrics like what you had, like what you display, and people around that era, and I just want to know, prior to you coming into music, were you already studying, the 5%, Islam under that flag, or was it something that you latched on to afterwards? And, just a little about your journey into, Islam, either prior to the music or after.
Right. Well, I was fortunate. I grew up in a musical household.
Yes, sir.
My mother sang everything from, jazz to opera. She performed at the Apollo. She was really serious about her craft. And, then she got married and things changed. But I came up in a musical household. My brothers play instruments. I play instruments. My sisters sing. So I always been, deep in the music.
Yes, sir.
I got knowledge of self around 1985. And the blessing with that was I met Eric B later on that year. And he told me he was looking for somebody, to do a record with.
Okay.
So, I got knowledge of self right on time, and it was very, meaningful that I had that with me on my journey into this music business, because it helped make me who I am.
Yes, sir. So did he know that you were into music at that time, or it was just a happenstance that he found out?
No, it was something where he knew somebody from my neighborhood and told them what he was doing, and they pointed him to me.
Yes, sir.
This brother named Alvin Tony.
Yes, sir.
Unfortunately, he just passed away last year.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, the brother that I grew up with, we played football together, went to school together, and somebody that he was related to knew Eric B.
Yes, sir.
So, long story short, man, he brought him to my house. I let him hear a couple tracks that I made, which had the melody on it already.
Check out my
and
melody.
Just me, freestyling. And, we sat down. He said he know Mr. Magic and Marley Marl,
Yes, sir.
which is two legends in New York City. Rest in peace to Mr. Magic.
Yes, sir.
And, once he said those two names, I knew that, this could be an opportunity. But luckily, man, I took the chance, and here I am today.
Yeah, that's a blessing, man. So it's what you're saying is it's like a perfect marriage right there. You got knowledge of self, and then at the same time you blended that into the music. So how much was having knowledge of self, as far as a focus on your lyrics and what you put down on the records?
Well, once I got knowledge of self, man, it was like, something that I needed, at the time, 16, 17 years old, growing up fast, and I needed something to, something to guide me, man. It was very important in my life at the time. And once I started studying and, reading all the literature,
Yes, sir.
and all the knowledge, man, it had a deep impact on how I seen life itself after that.
Yes, sir.
So in the beginning, I was hesitant to mix the two.
Really? Why is that?
because you know, at the time, you know, I'm young, you know, I respected, you know, what I was reading, and I didn't want to bring something pure and something that may have not been as pure.
Yes, sir.
But then, you know, as I, you know, got deeper into it, and you know, it was a short time, I started realizing that, you know, it became my way of life.
Yes,
You know
sir.
what I mean? And
Yes,
how I
sir.
seen things, and how I viewed things,
So
and my
you,
understanding on things.
so
So
you
I
couldn't.
realized that it was only right to incorporate what I was learning uh, into my music, but I was very careful on the way I did it.
And I have to say, to co-sign with you, my brother, you like I said, I followed your career, and you did just that. You
Thank you.
kept your integrity, the integrity of the music that you put out as well. You and Eric B, and
Thank you.
you always showed, you know, even with Mahogany, even though that was about something different, but it still was you know, a class act in his dissertation. But you know,
Yes,
one of
sir.
my favorites that you know, that I love to this day, you know, the ghetto, you know, it's
Yes,
always been
sir.
one of my favorites. But you can always go to one of your songs, and there's always some type of lesson or something in there pertaining to the teachings in there. So you know, I got to
Indeed.
co-sign with you, brother. And by saying bringing that up, I have to say, because during that time, you know, you know, a lot of factors. Big Daddy Kane, you know, King Son, Poor Righteous Teacher. I know they came some of those came on a little bit later, but it just seemed like, and I know this has been posed to you a lot. Uh, how is it? When did you start noticing the difference of, you know, like the thought process? You know, it's like, you know, even though they may have not have been spitting lyrics like you, with referencing, you know, the teachings or conscious things like you, but they still had a level of respect. It still was good storytelling. When did you kind of notice that it was different from that? That it was starting to change?
I think around in, I would say, '88, a lot more consciousness started emerging in hip hop.
Yes, sir.
Um, a lot of brothers that had knowledge of self, and then there was just a lot of brothers that um, knew that uh, there was a righteous way, and I guess, you know, another, or the other way to live. And a lot of brothers that didn't have knowledge of self still felt that they was righteous, and you started to hear it in their music. You know what I mean? So it was a good thing.
Yeah.
Um, you know, it wasn't just, you know, conscious music. The conscious, I think, the neighborhood was very conscious at the time.
Yes, sir.
So you know, it radiated, you know, through everybody, man. So I think you started hearing a lot of brothers, um, you know, stepping their game up, incorporating reality in they music, and definitely uh, being conscious.
Yes, sir.
Big thing in '88, man. I think, you know, it's one of the reasons why they called that the golden era,
That's right.
because it was so much originality, so much creativity, and there was a lot being said. You know, a lot of relevant things being said.
Yeah, yeah. You know, and not to bash the young ones that's coming up now, but are there any that's like that you're mentoring, or those that may have reached out to you for any advice or any consultation, anything like that, my brother?
Whenever I see a brother, one of my peers, one of my young brothers in the industry, and they want to, you know, chop it up, you know, I'm always, you know, more than happy to kick it with them.
Yes, sir.
Um, um, for me, it's a responsibility thing, and it's also, you know, a love and respect thing. Um, I look at these little brothers the same way that I know that I was looked at when I came into the game,
Yes, sir.
because you know, I know I was a little different than what I I was doing. And, you know, a lot of the brothers coming out now is you know, a little different than what they doing. Hip hop is young, you know,
Yes, sir.
all across the states. You know, is growing, and you know, I always use an example to explain like the beginning of hip hop. You know, for New York, the beginning of hip hop was, you know, hip hop, the hip hip, the hip hip hip
Right.
hip hip hop, and then it grew into, you know, what we know and love today.
Yes, sir.
Um, I think in a lot of cities now, you know, a lot of cities is going through they hip hop, the hip hip, the hip hip, hip. So
The
hopefully
beginning.
it'll resonate, and you know, they'll grow with it, and understand, you know, it's a genre, and you know what we do is very important, and
Yeah.
what we don't do is very important.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So I just and just one last point dealing with that, and I guess so. What was it that really just made you stay consistent? Because that's if we can say one thing about Rakim, is that he's been consistent with the music that he has put out. So what made
Thank you.
you remain consistent in your content and what you were talking about?
I think you know, learning how to be true to myself. And that's one thing Islam teaches you. And another thing it teaches you, you know, one of the most important words that I think that everybody should know that's striving for some kind of righteousness is the word humility.
Yes, sir.
And I learned that word and understood it, you know, at a young age. And I think, you know, like I said, you know, Islam teaches me how to be myself.
Yes, sir.
And I said, you know, if I can just be true to myself, then it'll resonate with everything else. It'll resonate with music. It'll resonate with, you know, my reality. It'll resonate with the people that surround me. So I think just trying to be true to myself and stay on course, and you know, hopefully it'll reflect in my music.
Yes, sir. Yes, and it has, my brother. And just like I
Thank
said,
you, bro.
man, just stay focused on it. I'm not too far behind
Thank
you
you.
in age. I'm 48, but man, I still enjoy listening to all your songs as if they came out for the first time. And a lot of times I have to retreat back to the golden era because some things just don't appeal to me from what I hear now. But that's just me. But everybody hears the difference. So, but with that being said, my brother, I
I
mean,
understand that.
you know, I know we all been affected by COVID, and as far as you going out and performing and not being amongst your fans like that. So how was that not being able to get out, and just and let me backtrack a bit. What do how much do you enjoy the touring? I mean, is that a big part of the life, the touring and performing in front of the fans?
Yes, sir. That's, you know, to me, that's that's like the best part. Like writing rhymes and the studio work is the hard work. To get out on stage and perform, and to get that response from the crowd, and you know, to get that love from what you've been working hard on, I think that's like, for me, the most enjoyable part about doing music. Like, you know, at the end of the day, you know, coming up, you know, the first thing, you know, if you had the love for being, you know, a singer, a rapper, or anything, I think the first thing that you fantasize about doing is performing. You
Right.
know what I mean? It's
Yes, sir.
like, you know, you want to get on stage, you want the mic, you want to be in front of the crowd. You know, like that's the first thing you think about. You don't know that you have to write songs that connect with people and things like that. You think, you know, you just get on stage and do what you do.
Yes, sir.
But to me, I think that's the best part, man. Getting that you know, response from the crowd, I think is what keeps me going today.
So how were you able to how'd you navigate a pivot, during those months that we were, sheltered in place then?
Oh,
Go ahead.
for me it was complicated because, you know, I've been out since, you know, '86.
Right.
I've been touring since '86.
That's all you knew.
Um, yeah, you know, it gets rough, and it got to a point before COVID hit. You know, I was thinking of ways I could tell my manager that I, you know, needed a little time. And sometimes you tell your manager you need time, they think, you know, take a couple weeks off, you take a, you know, vacation and you're all right. But I've been talking so long, I'm thinking, yeah, I need like, you know, a few months, man, you know,
Yeah.
maybe half a year, a little more than that.
Yes, sir.
Couldn't, you know, didn't get around to saying it, but I know he was seeing it in my ways. But maybe a couple weeks after that, man, COVID hit. And
So this was, you wanted to take a break before COVID hit.
excuse me?
So you saying you wanted to take a hit, I mean, you wanted to take a step back
break.
before COVID
Yes,
hit.
sir. You know, I was, you know, getting a little, you know, exhausted from the road, man. Like I said, I've been like touring since '86.
Right. Since you were a
You
teenager.
know, getting a little exhausted, wanting a little time off.
Yeah.
But like I said, didn't get around to telling them. But maybe a few weeks after that, man, COVID hit. And, you know, in the beginning, you not really knowing what to expect. And I was on the road when it hit. I was in California.
Wow.
When they finally started shutting everything down. And luckily, I was at the last few shows that I had. So, you know, we came on back to the East Coast. But I was on the road when it broke out. So, you know, I got home and, you know, being optimistic and at the same time, you know, not really knowing what's going on. So you watch TV, you watching the news, you reading up, you studying up, you know, seeing what's going on with it. And, you know, as the time is going on, you know, weeks pass, months pass, you know, I start realizing, you know, and for the first few months, I was, you know, kind of enjoying my time off.
Yes, sir.
But, you know, the seriousness of what was going on around me didn't start hitting me until maybe 4 or 5 months in. Because then, you know, in the beginning, I'm at the house, you know, I'm not really going nowhere. So I'm not really feeling the effects, you know.
Right. Like,
you know, a lot of people was at the time. But again, man, 4 or 5 months went by and then it started hitting me like, you know, this is very, you know, very serious. And, you know, not even thinking about music, you're thinking about reality right now. But, you know, it occurs to you like, you know, you may never get a chance to go out on the road again.
Yes, sir.
The way this thing was looking, you know, it's hard enough to, you know, be able to go in the supermarket and get food, let alone, you know, get thousands of people together at a concert and, you know, still be safe, man. So, you know, it started setting in and, you know, you say to yourself, you know, be careful what you ask for.
You may get it.
You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
And, you know, it let me know, you know, what's important, you know, and of course you think about, you know, the hard work that we put in and the things we sacrifice to do it. But at the end of the day, you know, I signed up for this.
Yes, sir.
And, you know, and do I love music? Indeed so, 100%.
Yes, sir.
Do I love performing? Indeed so. So, you know, I had to put things in perspective and really, you know, sit down and you know, understand what was going on at the time. You know, this virus really, you know, made people slow down and realize, you know, what's important and some of the things that we put first.
Absolutely.
Is not important at all, man. So,
yes, sir.
You know, I was able to learn a lot during this experience, you know, and you know, found, you know, or should I say, kind of rekindle my love with music and, you know, performing, man. So it's very important, man, and you know, very complicated times that we just went through and then we still going through.
And with that being said, and since we, you know, we're in the middle of mental wellness week, and so,
yes.
And prior to the COVID hitting, I know you had mentioned about taking some time off. So was that like in your mind, like a mental health break that you wanted to do for yourself? Or was it physical fatigue or was it a mental fatigue?
I think it was a little bit of both, man. think it was a little bit of both. You know, of course, you put out a lot of physical energy to get up on that stage, go city to city every day. You know, you try to, you know, be and stay as healthy as you can, you
Yes,
know.
sir.
And you know, that's before the COVID, you know, being on the road, trying to eat healthy, trying to, you know, take care of yourself.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I think it was a little of both, man. My body was tired, and I think thinking about what I was doing was making me more exhausted. So yes, I think, you know, sometimes you get to a point where you know, things get overwhelming, or you know, the repetition of things sometimes, you know, get overwhelming, and you know, sometimes you do have to break the cycle, but we have to figure out a healthy way to do that. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
We can't stop. Like I said before, like, you know, this is who I am. You know, I wanted time off, but you know, not that I have to, you know, run full speed ahead, but you know, this is what I signed up for. This is what makes me. And you know, again, you got to put your priorities in order
Yeah.
and stay focused.
But
But
you
yeah, man.
But you gotta be in your, like you say, in your right frame of mind, and mental health is so important nowadays. We see
Yes, sir.
we see, and people, we tend, especially with social media, we tend to make mockery or play down on things like that. And you think about
Right.
what Kanye West is going through, and Big Sean, and other artists, and probably people that we don't even know what they're going through, their personal battles, and personal battles with demons, and so forth. And again, since we are in mental health, we talk about just how important it is, for you to retain your mental health. And like you said, sometimes you may just need to step back, because you can't, even though you love the music, you love your fans, you love performing, you want to be able to give them your best. And if you're not
That's
there in the
right.
right frame of mind, then you can't do that.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
And I mean, you know, it's almost like making decisions with no rest. Um, you know, you're not thinking rational. You know, once you get to that point, you know, if you know things is a little unmanaged in your life, or if things is unmanaged in your career, you know, sometimes you know, you might need to step back and just, you know,
Yes, sir.
straighten things out, and you know, clean the desk off, man. And
Yeah.
then, you know, you'll find that it's easier to work, you know. But you know, we have to realize that, you know, our health comes first, man. You know,
Absolutely.
we can't make good business decisions, we can't make good life decisions, we can't you know, be the best. You know, I can't be the best husband that I can be to my wife. Because again, you know, I refer back to that not getting rest. You know, you don't get enough rest, and you're a little grouchy, and your wife wake you up. It's time to, you know, do what you have to do, and you know, you respond, you know, a little
A little
salty.
snappy.
You know,
Yeah.
that's not, you know what I mean?
Yes,
That's,
sir.
you know, because again, we're not, you know, in our right mind, or we're not, you know, at the best that we could be, man. So again, that all, you know, reverse back to, you know, how we feeling, you know, what we have in our life that's you know, maybe clouded things. You know, you do have to take that time to sit down and figure that out. And again, man, health comes first. You know, you can't make smart decisions when your thoughts is clouded. So, you know,
Absolutely.
again, man, if you need to sit down, if you need to talk to somebody, you know, like, you know, the good thing about it now is the awareness. So it's becoming a little more normal when, you know, somebody say, yeah, I need to talk to you about, you know, some real things.
Yeah.
You know, it's not as strange, you know, to us at this moment, man.
Right.
And,
Right.
and at the end of the day, you know, it could be a friend, could be a brother,
It's real
you know,
talk. It's
could be a
real talk.
relative, you know, so it's you know, I'm glad that the awareness is out, because a lot of people go through things, and they're scared to speak to people because they think it's something wrong with.
Exactly. Exactly. And
To
that's been a,
me,
I'm sorry.
you,
Let me just say, and there's been a stigma in our community. But when you see the rise of suicide rates among black men going up, And I heard
Right.
someone say in an interview that when a black man says he's tired, listen to him, because it's deeper than just a physical fatigue. And what you're saying, it bears witness. And it's like, I think the important thing that you said is that, you know, it's making it normal now to be able to talk to your brother.
That's right.
It's getting so now, because before, you think you looked at strange because you tell your brother that you love him, but sometimes you need to hear that.
Right.
And
Right.
with that being said, you need to be able to talk to him or talk to somebody about what's going
That's
on,
right.
because we are the backbone. We're the real backbone of the black nation, but we have to be able to carry that load. And sometimes, we do get tired.
Indeed. Indeed. That's when we got to reach out. That person that, say they love you is supposed to be right there, man. And, again, man, it's very important. Again, people think that it's strange if you say, yeah, man, I have a little problem. I'm having, a little problem with just figuring things out, man. I can't see, people scared to say that to people, man. But to me, that shows consciousness.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Absolutely.
To me, that shows consciousness. This brother knows, you know what I mean? Like, he's not seeing things clearly, and he wants to. So, to me, like for people going through things, I think knowing is the beginning of healing. And they need to know that. It's that consciousness that's telling you that, you need to, address whatever, the demon in the room is, man.
Absolutely.
So, I commend people that stand up and say, I need to talk to somebody.
Right. True that, true. And that's what brings you in town this coming week, Friday to be exact. You and DJ Jazzy Jeff. And
Yes, sir.
yeah, and I think that's historical in that. That's a mashup that I know I didn't see coming, because when you think about DJ Jazzy Jeff, of course, him and the Fresh Prince, and but to have him with you, and I know Jeff has done some other things, working with different artists, and from my understanding, I don't recall him working with you before, but I know this will be his first time the two of y'all performing live in Chicago. And so talk about the historical aspect of that, and because I think this will be your first live performance in Chicago since the last time you've been there before COVID hit.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've been there, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And I always look forward to performing in Chicago. I love the energy. It's one of the cities that, I make sure I'm up for. You know what I mean?
Yes,
but,
sir.
Yeah, man, me and Jeff, we've been getting together. We've been doing some music together.
Yeah, no, I was just saying, you got your phone, as you were talking, you got your phone a little too close. We can't see your face now. I know you're trying to hear me. Yes, sir. That's better.
Yeah, word up.
I got you.
But yeah, man, I had to charge my phone up.
Oh, I got you.
Move around.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, man, me and Jeff we've been working on some music.
Okay.
And during the course of that, man, been vibing, and we got a project coming out with some music. So the next best thing is hit the road. But once people realized that we was in the studio, the phone started ringing.
Yeah.
So we didn't put the music out yet, but we got some music on the way as well. But yeah, it's dope that we can get together, man, and bring the two worlds together. He's one of the illest DJs ever.
Absolutely.
Top two. It's hard. Once you get that good, and there's other DJs that's up there, as well, DJ Scratch and a bunch of, but it's hard to compare.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? To me, once you hit that level, man, you just you're Martianized. You're a Martian to me. You know what I mean? But that brother Jazzy Jeff is incredible at what he do, and it's gonna be fun to get on stage with somebody that love they craft and what they do. Like my man Jeff.
Are we going to hear a little bit of the some of the new music, or are we going to go back to? Are we just going to hear what you've been doing on your own?
I'm not sure if we're gonna break anything new yet. I think we might just hold everything in the bag. But I can't wait to perform some of the songs we've been working on, as well, man. But
yes, sir.
it's just dope, you know, like the way Jeff, the way he approaches, you know, music, the way he approaches the studio, the way he approaches the stage, you know, for me, it's dope being with somebody creative like that, because, you know, I can add on, you know, what I like to do, what you know, and he does as well. So together, man, we, you know, came up with, you know, a nice show that I think everybody gonna like, man. And again, I'm looking forward to the future of performing some of the songs we just did.
Definitely, and of course you're performing. You and DJ Jazzy Jeff performing at the Harold Washington Cultural Center this Friday. I believe that's October the 17th, and
Yes, sir.
but talk about, and as we're closing out, and I really appreciate your time, my brother, but talk about the importance of protecting our institutions like the Harold Washington Cultural Center and other venues, but in particular, with you coming to Chicago, Harold Washington being a black-owned event. Talk about the importance, because of course you, like you say, you love performing for your fans, but you have to have a place that you can that you can perform at. So talk about the importance of protecting institutions like the Harold Washington Cultural Center.
Oh man, very, very important, man. You know, when you have you know, people that look out for the community and you know, cares for the community, you know, and you know, let's not even, you know, being black owned, man, is very important.
Yes,
you know what I mean? We have to support and respect and you know, make sure that we you know, are there and do what we need to do to keep it there, man. There's not a lot of corporations and businesses and things that support urban neighborhoods, man.
Yes, sir.
So, you know, we need to realize that and realize the ones that do, you know, that's the ones that we stand by and we support, man. So, you know, let's you know, keep things in perspective with, you know, what's going on in the neighborhood, what's important in the neighborhood. And again, man, things like this is important, especially in this time where, you know, a lot of people don't get out on a regular basis because of what's going on.
Yes, sir.
So some people may need an outlet, somewhere to go and be safe, but you know, enjoy yourself at the same time.
Yes, sir.
It's places like this that, you know, will make sure that, you know, as safe as possible and, you know, make sure that, you know, people have a good time, man. So, you know, let's support, you know, things like this, man, and keep it up and running, you know. And again, man, when I get there, you know, I'm gonna make sure that I do my part.
Absolutely, absolutely. And as we close out, my brother, because apparently you do like the place. This is your second time coming that I know of. I'm looking forward to seeing you. But I got to say, man, you know, you like Benjamin Buttons. It look like you aging backwards. You know, I get to thinking about how you, when you first came out, you know, you had that little mini afro with the part in the middle. You look like you look like somebody's daddy then. But now you like you aging backwards, my brother. So that's that how to eat to live. So you just keep it up, brother. You know, continue to stay consistent, and you know, any closing words that you want to give, you know, to the listening audience, to the viewing audience, be my guest, brother. But I would just want to say personally that this has been an honor for me. You know, I really enjoyed these few moments, and I just hope that we were able to get out a message to the people. But the closing, you have a good 45 seconds to close out. Say whatever you want to say, my brother.
Thank you, my brother, and thanks for the welcome, Matt, man. Y'all keep up the good work down there. And yeah, man, you know, to my peoples out in Chicago, listen, man, peace and love. You know, this is, you know, rough time we going through. Hopefully we can come out this weekend and forget about it for just a minute. Enjoy yourselves, man. Come out, be safe.
Yes, sir.
And you know, may everybody that's listening and everybody that comes, and even the people that don't come, man. Yes, everybody be blessed and stay safe, man. Absolutely. Peace and love from AKEEM.
Absolutely. Thank you, my brother. May Allah continue to bless you and all that you do in the future. And with that, you know, we're going to go ahead and take this break, and we'll be back with the Munir Muhammad Show.
Peace and love, my brother. Bless.
Okay. Peace.
You are watching the Munir Muhammad Show, a production of Crow. Please take time to join us at Crow, the Coalition for the Remembrance of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, Crow is the National Archive of the Nation of Islam and houses one of the largest collections of historical, audio, video, and print documentation on the total Black experience. Crow is located at 2435 West 71st Street, the corner of 71st and Crow Lane. We are open 7 days a week, 9 to 5. Our number, 773-925-1600. We look forward to seeing you at Crow.
Searching for a restaurant that serves delicious home-cooked meals at an affordable price like your grandmother used to make? Well, the search is over. Stop by McAuthor's, the new talk of Chicago. We offer a warm atmosphere with friendly service and excellent meals ranging from carry-out, dine-in, or catering for your special events. McAuthor's is open 7 days per week from 11 a.m. until 9 p.m. Come visit us at
5412
West Madison Street or call us at 773-261-2316.
I love you, Emma.
Eat and Run Chicken and Fish has the only chicken you can reheat and eat. It's good as mother's and better than the others. It is the chicken even mothers love. We've been serving the community for over 30 years. We cook with 100% vegetable oil and are open 7 days a week, including holidays. We're located at 87th and Hermitage. Contact us at 773-429-1812 for your takeout order, or let us provide all your catering needs. For the best chicken of your life, it's Eat and Run.
This portion of the Munir Muhammad Show is brought to you by East Lake Management, innovative solutions for building communities of the future today.
It's against your own health. That how creates more diseases in your body than you have any dreams of. In fact, about it, stop eating the hog, eat right, eat the proper food, and you will find 75% of your sickness leaving you. Just try it.
Welcome back to the Munir Muhammad Show. I am Brother Mandene Muhammad, filling in for our host, Jamil Muhammad. I want to say I was very honored to be able to interview the brother AKEEM, truly a pioneer in the hip-hop genre, and just a legend within himself, and talking about how he was able to keep his integrity while still doing his craft and not putting his his beliefs in Islam on the back burner, as far as making his music and still keeping again his integrity and making great music and blazing a trail for those that's coming up after him. So definitely hope the performance tonight goes well with him and DJ Jazzy Jeff at the Harold Washington Cultural Center. I want to thank again Sister Jimelita Tillman for arranging that, and of course Matt, Rakim's manager. But continue on with this conversation about Islam and music, and the effects of Islam have on not only music but entertainers. I have with me, I have the honor of having one of the co-founders of CROL, the Coalition for the Remembrance of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, Brother Shahid Muslim, the director, former first officer, just all around good brother. And this is my first time interviewing you,
yes,
but
sir.
I've pretty much grown up, under your leadership. So assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum
Welcome,
salam, brother.
welcome again to the show, brother. So
Thanks for having me.
I don't think you got a chance to see the interview, but you being in the ranks in the Nation of Islam under the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, you had opportunity to either see or hear about different artists, musicians, actors, actresses, so entertainers,
Yes, sir.
that were affected by the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and decided to either join, or even if they didn't join, they were so much supportive,
Yes, sir.
supportive of the Nation of Islam and the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, that you would thought they were Muslims. So talk a little bit about what you saw during that time with some of the entertainers, and the amount of respect that they had for the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Nation of Islam.
Well, I think, but it was a lot of entertainers that was affected by the Nation of Islam. I think, what's the name of what's that brother's name? Because we saw him at a thing, and he said something about the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Not Joe. Well, Joe Tex was, because Joe Tex did join. I remember because we went down.
He became a minister.
Yes, sir. We went down to
Aziz.
Kansas City.
Yeah.
We went down to Kansas City. The captain had sent us down, and me and brother Ronnie. You don't know brother Ronnie. He sent us down there because they was down there in Kansas City at the mosque, and he was teaching there. Because what the messenger would do when he had people like that who was movie stars or entertainers, he wouldn't, they wouldn't be at no one mosque. He would call them in to him. He would teach them privately, and then send them out there on the road. Because every time Joe Tex would be somewhere, they would say his name, brother Yusuf. I forgot what his last name was, and
It wasn't Aziz.
that's it. Yeah,
Okay.
Yusuf Haziz, formerly Joe Tex.
Yes,
So
sir.
people would come to see him, and then he would teach.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what he would do. So, but that's what the messenger would do with all, people like that, famous people or people that was into entertainment world or any other type of world.
Right.
He would teach them personally himself.
Right, and it wasn't just Muhammad Ali, and as the saying goes, they wasn't the exception; they were the rule.
Right.
So you had Joe Tex, former Joe Tex, Yusuf Aziz, who actually joined, but you had others that was affected. From Aretha Franklin,
James Brown. Yeah,
yes, sir.
that's what I was trying to think of. He was affected. Right.
Definitely. James Brown, members of Kool and the Gang.
Right.
That were also affected. Others that that have been affected, that the names elude me right now, but you could tell the difference, because especially back then, because it had so much an effect on them that they started looking more like they were in the Nation of Islam. They were
Yes,
Muslims.
sir.
Even Gladys Knight, I think one of her brothers had joined the Nation of Islam.
Okay. Yes,
And
sir.
you would just see them, morphing into, they were instead of, the Muslims being affected by their world, it was the opposite.
Right.
They were being affected by the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and
That's
it showed.
right.
It showed in their thought process. It showed in how they dressed, even in their songs. Kool and the Gang did a song. What was it called? H&G, Headless and Gutless.
I think it was.
Headless
Yeah.
and Gutless
yeah.
Fish. Yeah. So about the fishing, because the Honorable Elijah Muhammad had the fishing program.
Right.
So, and that's not only making good music, but it's also promoting what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was doing, since they, everybody seems to either have amnesia or don't know.
Right.
So you can see that they had an effect, that they was the program of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, as far as the fish program, they was thinking about that. But it just showed a big difference in what they were doing back then, especially with those entertainers, and how they were able to still keep their integrity like that. So, how are you able to still stand tall, in your beliefs, because you saw entertainers, you saw it when because you were in the ranks, you were an official, during that time. So you saw different people that would come in. I think you even had a story about, with the Lona Falana that came to the mosque.
Lona Falana, right, Lona Falana, she came, we was over there on 73rd Street over there at the new mosque over there. She came, and the sister had put a wrap around her, but she came to hear the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. You'd be surprised, brother, it's a lot of people who was affected by the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, but they just wouldn't come out and say it. But you can see by the way they talk and the way they do things, and most of them, a lot of them would come to Savior's Day. They would come to Savior's Day to hear the teachings.
Yeah.
That's what they would do. But a lot of people was affected, and I'm gonna tell you, and Minister Farrakhan, now he knew a lot of them because at one time he was in the entertainment world,
right? And
they loved him, see, and he would go and talk to them. But that's the way it was, because I'm gonna tell you, the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, brother, once you get this teaching, you can't cut it or loose.
Right.
It's on you. Now, you might not be as active maybe as I am or you are or some other people are, but I'll be willing to bet if you went to their house, you could see things about the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, because somebody told me they went to this preacher's house. What's this preacher that loves Jesse Jackson?
Meeks.
Huh?
Meeks.
Meeks, yeah. They went to Meeks' house, and he had that message to the black man in his books up there. And a lot of people, what they do, they'll take message to the black man, read it, and they'll use those teachings in their sermon, but they're not going to tell you where they got that knowledge from.
Right.
Right.
And you mentioned Brother Minister Farrakhan, who has to be, even though he wasn't as popular as those names that we named, but he still was in the entertainment industry, and he was a rising star. But the teachings grabbed hold of him, and then he became even bigger than what he thought he was going to be. And as he said in 1979, Warning to the Hypocrites, we would name all of these different people that would come, and just to see him, to kiss his ring, bow to him, He said, honest to God, I was frightened, because I realized that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad had made me something that I could never have made myself.
That's it.
And those words are powerful. They were powerful back then, and they're powerful now. And it just shows you that you don't have to give up being who you are,
right,
for this world. I try to tell people that, you can still, work in that field or do what you have to do, managing. Or it's a young brother that I had on the radio show. It goes by the name of Golden Child. Every time I see him, and every time, he's out soldiering. He's not doing the work, and he makes good, respectable music, and he never jeopardizes his integrity as far as his beliefs and what he does. And he's always, you just see the glow on him. He's a young brother. He has a young family. His wife, they're expecting their first child, and he stands on it. And he's in that world. He travels, he performs and everything, and he comes from a family, of entertainers. But he stands tall, and he looks like, when you see him out there, you see him soldiering and being amongst the people, especially the young people, and they receive him well. And as the teaching goes, opposites attract. So when they see that, that he's a clean looking brother, he's intelligent, he speaks well, he makes the kind of music that we listen to, but he still reflects what he believes in. And as I said earlier, that outside world he's not looking like the outside world. The outside world is being pulled toward him.
Right.
Yes, sir.
See, people don't realize, brother, once you get hold of these teachers, and these teachers get hold of you, you're going to always be different from the other people that's out there. When people look at you, they're going to see a difference. They're going to see the type of language that you use is different. And they're going to see things that they do, you just don't do.
Right.
And that's just it. I mean, because once you get these teachers, brother, most people, you're going to stop drinking, you're going to stop smoking, you're going to stop using vulgar language and dirty language when you around people, and you're going to treat the black woman differently. And I'm just not going to say the black woman, but you're going to treat all women in a different manner.
Yes, sir.
Right? And people are going to know. They're going to say something is strange about that brother over there. Now, you ain't got to tell him that you a Muslim or you a follower of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad or a follower of Minister Farrakhan, but they're going to see something that's different in you.
Yeah, and it's a shame that you guys say strange, because that's the first thing that they would do is say, you know, what's wrong with him?
Right.
You know, he's strange, you know. But it's something that you had mentioned. I lost my train of thought, but I will say this though, by standing on what you believe in, and I remember what I was going to say. Your environment is stronger than your nature.
Right.
So
Yes,
it do come to a point also that you have to watch who you're around, and you know, certain things. You can be strong for so long, you know. So and then you see that you may have take a little sip of this or take a pull off of that, and you realize you didn't get struck down, you know. But that's the first thing that they're gonna look for, you know, is to hold that over your head, and you say, I knew he wasn't nothing. So, but that's why it's always good to be amongst people with the same thought process as you are, or at least have them with you also, because no matter how strong you are, as you all taught us, you know, as young brothers coming up, in particular, Brother Munir, that water drip on that if it drips on iron and steel long enough, it'll eventually wear it out.
See, I tell people this here, brother. See, once you get rooted in Islam, as taught by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, you can go anywhere and do anything, and you won't be tempted. I was in Jamaica in 2000. When did I go to Jamaica? I think in 2011, 2000. No, I was 2011, 2012, and back and then, brother, when I was there, they had that all inclusive.
Yes, sir.
Everything is free, the liquor, alcohol, everything.
Yes, sir.
But I didn't drink. Now,
Yes,
I
sir.
could have drank something because you would know about it. Wouldn't nobody know about it when I come back here. But I didn't have a desire to have a drink.
Yeah.
You understand that?
Yes,
And see,
sir.
once you get rooted into Islam, as taught by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, brother, you can go anywhere on the planet.
Yeah.
And you won't involve yourself in the things that other people are doing.
Yes, right. That's right.
You just won't do it
Yeah.
because in your mind you're gonna say, man, I don't need that. See, because I don't need alcohol to have a good time.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have a good time. I don't care where I go.
Because that's what they said. They say, you know, have a drink, loosen up. I don't have to have a drink to loosen up. You know, I think I'm quite hilarious if I'm comfortable with you.
No,
So
you
I
don't need
mean,
that.
I don't need that.
Right.
And plus, you know, it baffles me that, you know, because it's poison. The reality of it, you know, the alcohol is poison. People knowing that it's poison and knowing that as soon as you drink, you're going, it's burning you on the inside. I mean, why would I want to do anything like that? And then you get drunk to the point that you get a hangover. Your head is pounding. My head was hurting yesterday, you know.
Yes, sir.
And I know I wasn't doing nothing wrong. I probably was worrying or stressed a little bit. But you got people who will get drunk to the point that they know that their head is going to be bad the next morning. And what do? They do the same thing over again.
Over and over again.
And will brag about it. I've heard songs about people getting messed up or getting laid out or getting their head bad, as they say. And then you go and do it again. And then you have the people who may, you know, because their faith is not strong, they go and do things that would take their mind off of the problem that they're going through. Not realizing that once that high, once that feeling is gone, your problem is still right in front of you, waiting for you to correct it. And I think you often say, you know, if I'm able to correct it, I can, but if not, you know, I
leave it
worry
alone.
about it, yeah.
If I don't have control over it, I leave it alone. I don't worry about it. And sometimes when someone tells me something, now, and if I don't have the knowledge to know that what they're saying is truth, I won't repeat it. I just leave it alone until I can find something to verify what they said was the truth. And if I can't, I might keep it in my mind, but I'm not going to repeat what you said because I don't know whether it was actual facts or not. And then if it's not actual facts, I'm gonna look like a fool because I repeated what someone had said.
Absolutely,
Right.
absolutely. So yeah.
But also I say this
Go
here.
ahead.
When I hear people saying when they take a drink of scotch or bourbon or gin and say how good it tastes, I just don't believe it, because I know when I was drinking 53 years ago, I had to put some Coke in my alcohol or some ginger ale or something to make it taste good. But when I hear people say, "Oh man, no, it's good," it tastes
to
good.
weaken it.
Yeah, that's a lie.
Yeah.
I know it don't taste good.
Yeah. So quickly, what quick advice would you have a young Muslim that's coming up, that's in their world, that wants to remain strong, but may have some doubts?
If you want to remain strong, brother, try to be around Muslims as much as you can, because if you're not rooted in the religion of Islam as taught by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, once you get out there in the world, you're going to get weak.
Yes, sir.
Because everything is going to be coming at you. You remember that movie, what's the name of that movie? About the
Matrix?
No, about the gangsters, and it was number 3, and when he said the leader of the Godfather, he said, "I'm trying to get out of it, but every time I try to get out of it, I get pulled right back into it." And that's what happened if you're out there in the world, man, with these people. Because if you're not rooted, if you're not around Muslims as much as you can, you're gonna get weak.
Yeah. And on that note, and I really appreciate you giving me these few moments, brother. I know it's an abbreviated moment, but it was an honor to be able to sit down and talk to you on camera. And for those of you all that are listening, please make sure that you continue to support Pro. Check us out every Sunday, 12:30 to 1:30. Give us an hour. We'll give you the truth. Special thanks again to Sister Jimalita Tillman for allowing me to interview Brother Rakim. Make sure you check out the show tonight. And if you can't, support the Harold Washington Cultural Center, support Pro, help Pro before you need help from Pro. So on behalf of the Coalition for the Remembrance of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, I'm your filling in. I'm Brother Mandine Muhammad, giving you the green words of peace. Assalamu alaikum.